Yes, it's Tailgate Talk Saturday morning, and we are on location. It might be our first and last on-location show, but it's only fitting that we're in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. Wags is here. Eric Tasker is here. Even Dougie Fresh, Doug Russell, producing the show today. We're out here live and on location. Me, Tim Scott. Glad to have you with us on this Saturday morning. We're at the club level of WBC Park. Here, of course, home of the Lake Country Dockhounds. I always butcher that. Why is that?
I always love seeing you just kind of tee it up in your mind.
He goes real slow because he knows he's like,
Lake Country Dockhounds. And Wag said to me before we started, do you want me to give you something to see? You should have given me something. But you know what? It's only fitting that we're here, not because they're great sponsors, which they are. But if I remember right, it was Chi-Chi's down the road that you and I met and kind of hammered out this vision. It was in Oconomowoc you and I met for the first time.
No.
Wasn't it here?
No, we met at Champs in Brookfield.
Oh, that's right. It was Champs in Brookfield. That's where it was.
Champs.
Oddly enough, it was in a bar.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Why wouldn't it be?
It was, and I had alligator arms, and
That's
left,
right.
and somebody else paid.
Yeah, that's right. But, that's where we first had this idea. You were doing stuff at another radio station, and Tim Allen kind of brought us together. You knew Drew.
Drew. With Drew and KB, had known them for so many years, and then Drew finally brought together. Remember with the boys, I think the guys with Soul Boxer and stuff like that. We were all together, that was the first time. Gosh, that must have been about 10 years ago, maybe.
It seems like a long time ago. It is. We've aged. We've gotten older.
Yes.
A lot more gray hair, but. So anyway, you had this vision. You wanted to do an outdoor show. I didn't know that side of your personality. I just knew a guy that, had gone from Germantown and played in Major League Baseball. I remembered you as a baseball player, not, but got to know each other a little bit. And then we got Mr. Tasker involved in this. And the reason we're here is because it is a special day, because this is show number 150.
It's amazing.
150. So I was here for the last 28 shows. But no, I'm kidding, of course. I don't even know how many shows. I don't know how many shows I've done with you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be closer to 50 though.
Probably 50 now.
Yeah.
50 now. Yeah. And here's the funny thing.
Oh, yeah, because it's been at least a year.
Yeah? Has it been that many?
I think like 14 months or more.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that. So there was an original host of this show, and he decided to do some other things, and he moved on, and we thank him because he was there. You got to tip your cap to him because he was the first one that, started this mission with you guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's the show has evolved as things always do.
Yes.
And yeah, it's been. I was thinking about it as I was driving over here. My short drive over. I wish we could record out here all the time.
I go past this place every day.
Yeah. I think it would be easier for all of us, right?
Yeah.
Just thinking about all of the different people that we've talked to, the people we've met, the opportunities that have presented themselves, all of our great partners that have been a part of the show. And, it's like Mark Boardman, like that comical conversation that we had with Mark Boardman from Vortex Optics, where he was going to create a scope for you or whatever. And
it never happened.
And like different shows that have been a part of it, and it just continues to evolve, and it's fun to do this every week where we can just sit and we can talk about things that we love. And I mean, Wags, he said that your personality is the baseball player, and I only know you as the personality of the outdoorsman that chases muskie and sends me pictures of whitetails in the backyard and lets me shoot at turkeys in the backyard.
It is crazy. It is crazy.
It's a lot of fun, and I just think that it's crazy to think that we're here at 150 episodes now.
Well, a lot of shows don't make it this far. So we'll see if we can make 160. We'll take it step by step, 170 as we roll towards 200. But I want to thank you guys because, let's be honest, when we had to make a change, it was an unexpected change. We had to make a change. And I was the only guy in our building that wore camouflage, hunted, had a truck in his life. And oddly enough, I've created some outdoor shows. I've been part of other outdoor shows before. As a matter of fact, our sister station, 920, they have WOKY. They have an outdoor show with a couple of guys that are based in Madison. And I started that show with those guys almost 20 years ago now. So it's I grew up. I don't do it as much as I once did. But I think one of the things as we've evolved here over our run is that it's not just an outdoor show per se. We talk about stuff. We talk about baseball. We talk about, all kinds of things going on, and which I really enjoy. And you guys are the heart and soul of this show, and I want to thank you guys together for just, weathering the storm, believing in this project as we continue to grow and evolve.
And we've had so much help from Doug and others, and just trying to figure out how to make
Hunter
it work.
with a podcast every week.
Hunter uploads for us every week.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're not there or Doug's not there, we went back one time. We went with Shannon.
Shannon.
Yeah, we did go with Shannon once,
Yep.
and she tried to. Me and Tasker look at that board. We're like, "Hey, maybe let's just do reruns this week."
Yeah. Well, I just remember that.
We have no idea
Where we
what's
were in
going
the
on.
back, which is
Yeah,
the future of the
everybody.
R&W studio, and we were in there, and I was trying to figure out the volume of music, and I'm pulling up YouTube videos trying to get our music right. And I just remember the start of the show, it went from full volume to off. There was no segue. I was like, well, we're live now. And that's just all part of it. I mean, it doesn't work out for all three of us to be here every week. And, fortunately, we've had Doug to be able to help out and push the buttons for us and keep us on track, and maybe do some editing afterwards. I mean, I think the last time that it was the three of us, we the three of us, we had a guest in the studio, and we just started the show and we didn't introduce ourselves, so we had to do a little bit of massaging with the show that week and go back and
that's what they call it. The official term is post editing. That's what it is.
And Doug looks at us as we're done, and he's like, "Well, you haven't introduced yourself yet."
He goes, "Well, yeah, it sounds good, but you guys might want to know
Nobody knows who you are,
who we're talking to."
Yeah. The cool thing about spending time with you guys and getting to know you guys at a personal level, I think it's interesting, Eric, you said about Wags. You know him not as a baseball player. You know him separately. I think what's fascinated me about you, Wags, is much like the relationship I have with John Kuhn, is that I knew you guys as athletes first. I actually have enjoyed you more being just who you are and getting to know who you are. Your playing days were great, and what you guys did was special. And, to be at the level of your sport as you guys were, I mean, a few people ever in their lifetime, we all dream about it, right? But few make it. I think what's impressed me most, Wags, about our relationship is that you're just you, and you're a guy that grew up in Germantown, had a lot of accolades along the way. You could have changed a little bit. You could have been different. Hell, you may have stayed in Pittsburgh. You could have stayed in Florida or some other place. But you've never forgotten where you came from. And I think that's one of the things I've really enjoyed most about our relationship.
Oh, thank you. That's a big compliment. I appreciate that. I wanted to be one of those guys that never changes. I didn't want to change because of what it did. And people will say that. I don't know. Nobody can tell. If I'd have been good and I made $25 million a year, maybe I would have been a little different. I think everybody would have. But it's easy to say the guy that has all that and he's changed to the guy that doesn't. So I just came back, like you said. I've stayed here my whole time in Wisconsin. I've enjoyed everything. My family's here. I'll still bitch and complain about the seasons, the snow, the leaves, but I'm here. This is where I want to be, and this is where it ended up happening, so it's good.
Where did it start for you, the passion for the outdoors, Eric?
Well, I told the story of getting my hunter safety late in life, but, my dad, we're a family that we never really celebrated Thanksgiving because my dad was always gone for all 9 days of the gun season. And I just remember all those times when I was little, hearing my dad pull in the driveway and hoping there was a deer on the back of the truck. And just thinking about that as I was growing up, it was always something that I wanted to do, and I played so many sports when I was little, so I never set aside the time to do my hunter safety when I was younger. But my dad worked in a foundry his whole life, and so his body took a beating. So he's had a hip replaced, he's had both of his knees done, and I think it was the first time that he went in for a replacement. It was the year prior to that. I just went out and I sat with him in the woods. And I just kept thinking to myself, he's not going to be able to drag a deer out, and he's not hunting by my other uncles. So I want to get out there, and I want to do this, and I'm trying to figure out how can I get into a class. And I just thought, this is what I want to be doing. I mean, I'm 21 years old. All of my buddies in Eau Claire that I played football with up there, they all do it. And it's just, they have so much fun doing it, and they create all these memories with their family and with their, brothers and sisters and, then eventually their kids, that it was always something that I wanted to do, and I finally just was able to get in. And so I feel like I started a lot later than a lot of people do. I'm not the 12-year-old that was in hunter safety with all the rest of the 12-year-olds. And I'm so glad that I did. I mean, it's been, I guess, 16 years, I think it is, will be this year, that I just look at all these memories that I've had with family, and it's the time of the year that me and my dad look forward to so much that, we're already talking about, well, when are we going to go up and when are we going to put trail cameras out? It's like we shape our year around hunting season now. And it's like, how did I not have this when I was younger? I mean, your priorities are elsewhere, and
it's funny.
You just want to go out and drink at the bars in college, and it's like it's not at all the same thing anymore.
It's funny you mentioned your dad, Wags, because I don't know if in your case it was your dad. For me, it was my grandfather and my dad, and I saw the relationship that my dad was an only child, and to see the relationship that my dad and his dad had together. I mean, when I was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, I was the kid that was in the hunter safety class at 11 years old or 12 years old, whatever it was back then. But I just saw that between my grandfather and my dad, and being the oldest, my dad wanted to bring me into that. And my special memories are actually hunting with not only with my dad, but with my grandfather as well. And for me, they're always going to be special memories.
Yeah. And what a great memory to relive on Father's Day weekend.
Exactly.
Father's Day tomorrow too.
Yeah.
Yep.
How about you? How did you start?
No, just with baseball and being gone summers, it was hard because my brother and my father obviously didn't play. They didn't travel with me. They didn't go. They didn't live in different cities. They did a lot of bird hunting. They did a lot of things together. So a lot of those memories were between my brother and my dad, and I wasn't part of it. And you know what? And you sit back sometime, whether it's a minute or two or an hour, you sit back, whether you're on a plane ride or not, and you're like, I wish I was with the family. I really wish I would have been there. I really wish I could have experienced that. Everything else was going great, but you miss that because baseball doesn't last forever. And then I get back home, and then I tried to get into it. And the stories that they had, I looked at it and I listened, and I'm like, they're talking about times on the Mississippi that they missed this animal, they missed these birds, they drank here, they ate there, and I'm like, damn it, I wasn't part of that. I mean, not that I was.
Well, you're envious. You're jealous a little bit, right?
I really wanted to be a part of it. I really wanted to have those experiences and those memories, because my memories of baseball are when they come out for the weekend and watch a game, and then they go back and they do life. And so as soon as I got back, that's kind of what I want to do. I almost forced them to jump into doing things again, and I didn't even want to hear, we just did that last year. I don't care. We're doing it again this year.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you mentioned that about being away so much, because how things have changed now, that the way parents are, and as good as you were at a young age and what you were doing, most parents are packing up, they're going with you. They're not going, and again, it was a different time, it was a different era, but and sometimes I think I wish I could go back to that era, because I think you can glean a lot more from that time when you knew far less about things. You know what I mean?
True. Very true. Very true.
Yeah, I like that you said that too, Wags, about we drank here, we ate here, we did this, or we did that, or we sat over there, or whatever it is. And it's so easy to overlook just some of those small memories, or like things that you don't really think are going to become much of anything. I think about the time that I think it was 2 years ago now, I guess maybe 3 years ago now. It was pretty early on in the show where we did a spouses weekend up north, where we put the trail cameras out. My wife is always like, send me your pin when I go hunting around here, so she has an idea of where I am. And Yeah, I mean, she's seen hundreds of pictures of me from my tree stand. Like, oh, yeah, there's a deer walking by or whatever. And for them to be able to come with us and go up north, and I just remember it was my uncle, my aunt, my mom, my dad, and then it was Sherry came with, and then we brought the dogs up north. And we just stayed in this little, like, rented cabin, and we went out. We got to put our trail cameras out. We did all of that stuff, and to just go through that, I mean, I think about it now. We lost my aunt this past year. We just put my dog down. That we had all those fun times up north. And it's all of those different times where you think about, like, oh, this isn't really going to be anything. And then you look back on it, and it's such a fond memory of going and showing them all those places that we eat and drink and where we stay and where we sit.
Right. I think I've told this story before as we go to break that one of the places we registered deer with when I was a kid, about 5 or 6 years ago, my brothers and I went back. I can't remember why we were back. Maybe it was an unfortunate thing where a family member passed away. But we made an effort to go back to this bar. It's a little small town called Cataract, Wisconsin. And we went in there because we remembered how good the hamburgers were, right? And sometimes when you remember things, when you actually get there, it ain't the same. But the burgers are really good. But what they had done, they were under new ownership, and the bar has been there for generations. And they did a laminated top, clear lamination on the top of the bar, but they took all these photos they found, and they put them throughout the bar. And so we're sitting there, and my brother Sam looks at me, and he goes, "Look at that." And there was a picture. My dad played softball for this bar. And there's my dad and his team in his softball uniform at about 28 years old, 29 years old. And you just look at your dad on Father's Day weekend. I get kind of choked up saying this, but you see your dad full of life, you know. And my dad's 76, 77 years old and kind of a rundown. He had a heart like, you know, you said you worked in a foundry. My dad was a truck driver most of his life, and his body's beat down and stuff too. But when you see them at that point, you know, it was something special. It really, really was. It was cool. So, but so yeah, that's what this show's become now. It's all become memory lane about dads and different things like that. So, all right, we're going to take our first break. We are live at the club level at the home of the Lake Country Doghouse.
We are
There
in the
it was
midst.
again. There it was again.
Listen, I did that on purpose.
We are in the midst. We'll get back to it. We are in the midst of a 3-game weekend series.
This is an
with
amazing
the
place.
Claiborne Railroaders.
We got to work. We got to do something here. This
I
is
know.
an amazing place at club level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll do that as we continue. Special edition of Tailgate Talk here on The Game. Hey, welcome back. It is Tailgate Talk. It is a special show. It is number 150. We are live and on location on this Saturday morning with our friends at the Lake Country Doghouse.
Got it.
I got it.
And I didn't even have to write it down.
Third time's a charm. Third time's a charm.
Repetition.
Well, it's this Giannis jersey up here at the club level that's throwing me off, right?
We got everything here. We got
Ricky Vaughn.
Giannis jerseys. We got Harvey Keene. We got the 82 Brewers.
All right, I'm looking for it. I don't see a Paul Wagner jersey.
I
What's up with that?
also
you thinking the
was
same thing?
observant of that.
Someone needs to remind the club that Ricky Vaughn was a fictional character.
Yeah.
Right? He,
So, some people believe Paul
Even-
Wagner
even-
was a fictional. so we got to get it
Wait a minute.
straight.
There's some 23-year-old that just walked back this morning and nodded his head. When yes. That's not the case. That's not the case.
Yes, no, we are at WBC Park where
This is beautiful.
Yeah, the home field for our Lake Country Doghounds, and we are in the midst of a 3-game final weekend series with the Claiborne Railroaders. Now, with them coming up from Dallas, Texas, we play 6 games, so they've been here all week.
And they thought they were going to beat the Heat.
That they did.
They brought it with them.
And then we got brand change this weekend. We're called the Flying Monkeys. And again, I don't know the whole backstory, but I do know that the
has
Wizard
to
of
do-
Oz.
right.
The Wizard of Oz was first shown
In Oconomowoc,
Oconomowoc.
right in downtown, they have a little display set up.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Camera
not there right now. It's all
they
under
took it down?
renovation. They're getting repainted.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right.
So it looks kind of sad as you walk by the yellow brick road.
But it will be nice. But it will be nice.
You had the Wizard of Oz, Doug. You had, someone from the Go-Go's that grew up in Oconomowoc. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we
Place
got
to
it
be.
all.
And now you have the Lake Country Doghouse.
Lake Country Doghounds. Yeah, very great. Great entertainment, great facility. Like you said, as you guys are looking around, so much to do. If you haven't been out here, you got to come out and check it out. There is so much to do. and you'll enjoy it. Between innings, run like a minor league ballpark. Activities for kids, adults, sing-alongs, karaoke's. Louis is our mascot. Everything is great. And with WBC Park, out of Verona, it's the Wisconsin Brewing Company. They have their own. They're brewing beer. They brew their beer. You can see back there, and on certain days you can really smell it. So absolutely a great venue. I
got to ask you real quick. I always forget when I come in here because this goes beyond just what your club does. I drive past here on my way in and my way out from work every day, and the lights are always on because this goes beyond. I mean, this is a facility that the area has benefited from. High school teams, all kinds of teams use this field, right?
Yeah, so you have 360, how many days a year you want to be open. We only play 50 home games, so we've got to generate revenue in those other days. And so many different things, whether it's high school sports, whether it's baseball, whether it's lacrosse. There's a volleyball tournament coming up, bocce. Lots of things to do. Christmas caroling. They're going to do a Christmas parade this year. Tacos and tequila. Anything we can do to piggyback with the RNC convention and Harley Davidson. We're doing anything to generate revenue because, like I said, 50 days to make money at ball games, bringing in 1,500 fans a game isn't going to pay, a big mortgage here. So we've got to be creative, and that's what the LikeCountry.com front office is doing. They're very creative in trying to generate that.
Tell me real quick about the field too, because I always forget. Because people think baseball field, you see so many, and it's a turf field. And is that from a coaching standpoint, is that good? Is that bad? Does it matter? What?
It doesn't matter. You can have pros and cons for both ways. Again, it's for the multi-purpose use facility. Right. It is the same exact turf at Camp Randall. It's the new mixture of, the sand, the rubber, that whole mixture is the same. But again, it's strictly for convenience. Plus, it drains well, so we get very few rainouts. We can play with a little bit of rain; it comes right away. Nothing puddles. But again, it's strictly for that multi-purpose use where bands come in here when it doesn't get wrecked.
So, what about evaluating players? Does that impact that at all?
No.
You can field a ground ball; it doesn't make a difference.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. Okay. You sometimes you think you get a truer hop, but you do. You get a truer hop when it doesn't hit a seam. There's no seams in grass, or sometimes, as you would say, where the sod line is.
Right.
You look at Miller Park, and when I go down there and I see what Ryan does, Ryan takes care of that so perfectly. You can't even tell that what's going on there with the sand and mixture he has. And sometimes you'll hit a seam here. It's good play. It's the fundamental baseball, keeping the glove down, watching the ball into your glove, still plays regardless of the surface. We can evaluate kids on concrete. We see it in playgrounds. You know what? We can see it everywhere. So this just gives us the ability to play with lack of Mother Nature hurting us sometimes.
So you'll love this. So I used to have a coach when I played baseball back in the day that always, when you're fielding a ground ball, he wanted to see the button of your cap. Yeah. Do you still use stuff like that, or is that too old school?
That's a little old school. But
you've heard it before, right?
I've heard it. I just want to see your hands down.
Hands up front, yeah.
If it's down below your waist, I want to see
it. It was always hands up front, button down. I want to see the button of your cap. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, of course, they're a fantastic sponsor and allowing us to come out today and do the show from here as we celebrate show number 150. But just down the road is Buck Rub Archery.
Yeah, and they've been a part of it from the beginning, and it's been nice to have, you never know when something's going to go wrong. And, I mean, I got to go drop off your bolts that you lost the fletchings on.
Right.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
So
I was going to grab them on the way out this morning. And it's nice to have an archery shop that will take care of you and that you know the people there. And they've been really good to us. I mean, they helped you out with your crossbow. They helped me out when I got my new bow. And it's been a great place to be able to go and shoot. And here we're, starting to get into that summer shooting season. I just posted something the other day, and Raven, who we're hoping to have on the show here in the next couple weeks, sent me or reposted it and just said, now is the time to get fixed up. If you need a new string or if you need, something done to your bow, do it now so that you're shooting with your new setup all throughout summer. They've got everything: crossbows, compound bows, traditional bows, indoor, outdoor range, and then all of your bow shop, normal services as well. So, and they're right off the freeway. I mean, if you're driving past the Dockhound Stadium, you're probably driving past Buck Rub Archery as well.
Father's Day, I know Billy was talking about it this week. He got a new smoker for Father's Day, so he's going to be smoking some meat. barbecuing this type of year. Dad, maybe that's one of his hobbies, whether to do it on the gas grill, the Blackstone like Drew and KB love. Maybe it's, the old school way, charcoal grill, that type of stuff. The place to get your stuff for your grilling this weekend for Father's Day is our friends at Bunzel's, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I was actually thinking about Bunzel's, and I don't know if you guys have worked up an appetite or not.
Oh, boy. What do you got?
I feel bad now that Doug is here because I've got packs for both Mr. Wagner and Tim. So we've got little snacks. We've got spicy bourbon-flavored beef strips to snack on while we're doing the show.
Okay.
And then we've got smoky sweet snack sticks that we can also crack open.
Crack those babies open.
But in addition to that, Drew's favorite, the honey mustard cheddar brat, and the Texas Popper bacon brat. I've got 4 brats of each for each one of you guys.
Wow, thank you.
As a thank you from Bunzel's.
Well, that is awesome.
So, Doug, you're going to have to jump in on the beef sticks.
I went on a diet. I'm good.
Okay.
Don't you listen? Milwaukee weight loss has helped Doug's life. Changed Doug's life. You're at what, 45?
A little over 40.
Wow.
Really?
Awesome.
Yeah,
nice
that's
job.
great.
That's good.
Yeah, so I was in there this week, and we were talking about some different things, and I said, hey,
crazy.
we've got episode 150 coming up. It's going to be mid-morning. We're going to probably be hungry. We should probably have a couple things just to take back to the guys. And, of course, they obliged, and they,
Outstanding.
got us
That's outstanding.
4 of each of those brats. And then we've also got a couple of snack sticks here. But, yeah, I mean, it's the time of year. I mean, it's beautiful. You were talking about the weather before. Now's the time that everybody wants to sit out on their patio. And, I mean, out here, beautiful sunsets that we're able to take advantage of with backyards and things like that and firing up the grill. And I feel like we grill 365 days a year, but now's the time that we really enjoy doing it. You've got a cold beverage next to you, and then the smoke from the grill is always what we live for in summertime.
It's interesting about the smoke from the grill. I told the story, was it last episode, 2 episodes ago, that my wife and I were at AmFam, and we smelled the charcoal. We're a Blackstone family, and we're like, man, I miss charcoal. So I went out, and Doug and I bought a small portable charcoal grill, right? So apparently it not only worked on us, but it worked on our neighbors across the street.
They smelled you.
And sure enough, I came home the other night, and Dwayne's over there, and he's got his own little grill in the driveway. And I walked into the house, and I said to Dawn, I go, did you see that? She goes, oh, yeah, I did. I did.
Yeah.
It said charcoal, man.
Yeah, and it's also time for campfires. I mean, we just got our fire pit set up on the backyard after we did our patio, and there's a little stake that you can set the griddle top or whatever you want to put on top of there. I feel like that's the least common of all of our grilling methods. I mean, I don't know about you guys. How often do you guys actually cook over an open fire?
Open fire?
Yeah.
I haven't since a long time ago.
I was going to say
40 years ago.
No, good Lord.
I mean,
I'm only 41. No.
I mean, if what?
Yeah, I know.
Good for you. If you count sticking hot dogs in, for the kids,
Yeah.
that type of thing, probably last summer. We
Yeah.
did that.
You know what? You bring up, I know we're talking food
All right,
and
stop.
stuff like that.
You got those things sitting right in
Yeah,
the middle
here,
of
let's
here.
try and rip this
Crack
bad boy
these
open.
open. Just don't put them to Doug so he can't smell them because Doug's on a diet.
So what I was going to say is, we talk about, like you said, the grills and the neighbors smelling it and stuff
right
like
here,
that.
Right here. One of those.
I've heard guys literally, my neighbor will he'll have a bonfire when he goes out hunting. And he'll have that bonfire going the whole time so that he can play the wind. If
Right.
the wind, it'll smell, it won't, there's scent. His scent will be covered by the bonfire.
Oh, my God. These are great.
And I'm like, I'm going to try that. And I was going to do it last year, but I think I'm going to do it this year.
These,
Yeah, I think that's
real quick, the smoky sweet snack stick, home run.
Phenomenal. Fine, I'll have one.
Doug's in.
it's all protein.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, it's all protein, Doug. Taste that bad boy.
Thank you.
Oh,
I love that the
those-
listeners are getting the 4D, us chomping in the background here, but
Good night sound.
yeah, it's all part of it.
Oh, it's Jerky's really good, too. Delicious. Delicious stuff.
Those are good.
But, yeah, I think I'm going to try that this year. I'm going to try that. My bonfire pit's right there. It's right up by the barn. You know where it is. It's right up there. That'll just blow wherever it blows. That'll be my scent. That'll be a scent cover.
Yeah.
And I've heard people do that before.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, thanks.
Go try one of those.
Yeah, it's...
Thank you, Bunzels. Delicious.
Yeah, it's interesting
Yes,
just to hear that because there's some people that just will live and die by that. You
Yeah.
know, they just think that that's the cover. And I mean, I guess you figure if you're trying to be scent free. I mean, I always think about our whole week that we get away. Where it's like, how do you? I mean, at some point your clothes are going to.
You're never going to be.
smell
Yeah,
like.
you're never going to be scent free.
Yeah. So to have that, I mean, that certainly helps. Otherwise, you're bringing scent eliminators and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
How much have you guys been in the woods in the last 2 weeks? Reason I mention it because last weekend I did the road trip up north with Tim Allen. Went to Park Falls and went to Mercer. Okay. Number one, the mosquito population is alive and well. And I'll tell you that much. I have not been up there for years. It is a beautiful, beautiful part of Wisconsin, just with all the lakes. Manitowish is up there. Where I'm trying to think where else we went through. But anyway, to make a long story short, they really took a beating last year with the lack of snow.
oh yeah,
Because we did a couple of
Yeah,
live
we talked
shows
about
at
that.
Empty Pockets in Park Falls on Friday, and then we were at the Wolf's Den in Mercer on Saturday. And where the Wolf's Den is, it's the Great Northern Lodge, I believe is what it's called, but it's right on the trails up there, the UTV snowmobile trails. And they had no snow at all up there last year. And talking to the guys that own it, they said that they took a beating last year.
Weren't we talking about one of the shows that the state of Wisconsin was going to set aside some funding for? Was that Wisconsin, or were we talking somewhere else?
Yeah, I think it was Wisconsin Tourism.
Yes,
was helping them
yes,
out with
to help 'em.
grants and some different things that they had.
And then remember, too, about the Birkenbeiner. Last year we talked
yes,
about that.
and they shortened that.
I think they eventually canceled it.
I thought they did
No,
too.
no, they did it. I think they went.
Or
Short,
or
they
was
went
that
5.
just- oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Remember,
that's
it was
right.
like-
They
they
did.
shortened
They
it.
shrunk it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it was too. But from right now, everything is back. Fishing has been great up there. When the people I talked to when we were up there, tourism is such a huge part of that. Beyond just hunting and that type of stuff. But what blew me away too was just in talking to the folks up there how much snowmobiling has accelerated, and that it used to be. And it used to be once summer months were done, you'd shut it down for the year. Now it's 365. It just switches from hunting and fishing and UTV and ATV. Well, not ATV. I guess they call them ATVs, but whatever it is now on those trails. But they said as soon as it stops, it becomes snowmobiles. And those people who came up with the UTVs, ATVs, whatever they were driving, now they switch to snowmobiles.
Yeah.
And the money that people invest in that stuff. Wags.
Yes.
Man, some of the stuff that I saw, the trucks and the trailers,
Oh, yeah.
and all those toys in the back.
We got a sponsorship with Power Sports, I believe, out of Waukesha. I think it's Power Sports, and they give us a couple of those machines. You walk into that little showroom over there, man. You can spend you better win the lottery before you go over there. It's no more $4,000 four-wheelers.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's so
Yeah.
different now because
Yeah.
it has accelerated with
Yeah.
the UTVs. I mean, I work with a client just down the road that does a lot of auto aftermarket.
Right.
And I mean, the times that you go in there and people are ceramic coating their UTVs, and they're like, "Well, we spent $40,000 on this UTV. Of course, we're going to protect it."
Well,
And most
and-
people aren't buying cars for $40,000.
Well, and when you get up to those places, and even some places around here, they've been allowed to drive now on the roads like a car or anything else. I mean, where I live in Lake Mills, you'll see them downtown all the time. And up north, you'll see as many of those on the road as you do cars and trucks.
And
Yeah.
the trails now are intermingling. There, you can ride county roads in certain areas. Then you go onto the field or trails through the woods, and then you come back up through the roads. But the biggest thing I did see was when I was talking to those guys, is I was like, this road travel has got to be wearing on the rubber. You must go through a lot of tires, a lot of rubber. And he goes, and I thought this was funny. He goes, believe it or not, the more tread you lose it more on trail. You don't lose it as much as on a road. And I go, what are you talking about? I go, wouldn't you? He goes, look at how many miles do you have on your Ranger? Because I have a Polaris Ranger.
Right.
And I go, I don't know miles, but I have let's just say 119 hours.
Yeah.
And I need new. He goes, have you been riding on the road? I go, no. He goes, how long have you been driving my truck? I go, well, yeah, my truck's got getting bigger. He goes, yeah, you get 50,000 miles on the truck.
Yeah.
You ain't driving in there. You're not hitting. I'm like, that was for me a learning, and I could be wrong. He could have been giving me some song and dance, but I didn't know that rubber burned heavier on
the off-road stuff,
on the dirt, rocks, and stuff like that. I thought it burned on asphalt.
Well, yeah, you figure all the different terrain and routes and just all the adverse
Well, but part of it too, though. Think about your hours. The majority of your hours for these things are not spent on asphalt.
True.
They're spent off-road. So if this was your daily driver, maybe they would go a little bit sooner. I don't know. So anyway, quick thanks to Bunzel's for the Texas Popper Bacon Brats, the Drew Olson approved honey mustard and cheddar brats. Doug Russell is making love in the corner to the Bunzel's homemade smoky sweet snack sticks. They're awesome. One of our fantastic sponsors. We need a break. Final segment is up next. It's our 150. And amazing. I'm surprised. You didn't come in a Brewer uniform, but he came in his Luke Combs costume. He's nailed it. He's nailed it. I've been sitting here whole show going, who does he look like? It's a Luke Combs, man.
That's what I did. Yeah. I got sunglasses.
Put those on, and the outfit is complete. Good for you. Yeah. Quick break. More as we continue. It's Tailgate Talk here on the game. Hey, welcome back. It is Tailgate Talk. We are the warm-up act before the award-winning Chuck Garbedian on golf, coming up at the top of this hour. We're celebrating show 150 today out here at the Dock Hounds Park. Tim Scott, Eric Tasker, Paul Wagner as well. I almost said Luke Combs, but now I can't shake that.
Close.
So, but yeah, it's a special show today. That's why we're on location, thanking our great sponsors out there. Of course, the Dock Hounds are one of those. And Wags just reset for them. I know we're out here early, but busy weekend. You're involved heavily with this group, aren't you?
Yes. Busy weekend. Again, like I said, the team that came in, they come in for 6 days. It's a rebranding of the Lake Country Dock Hounds. This weekend we are the Flying Monkeys due to the Wizard of Oz, like we talked about. Sellouts, I mean, not sellouts, but big fan appreciation. It's going to be great. There's going to be so much going on this weekend, and come on out tonight. At least we have a 6:05 game tonight, and then we have a Father's Day game at 1:05. But again, the Claiborne Railroaders are in town, and it's just great entertainment, especially with this new rebranding of the Flying Monkeys T-shirts. You got to hit the merchandise store. There's T-shirts, hats, so many things to do with this Flying Monkey. So it's kind of a crazy little thing. 3 days only.
Well, we want to remind people too, as you were reminded. Go check out the website.
LakeCountryDockHounds.com.
I like how he pushed that.
Eric's kind of looking at me like, do it, say it. So I did. So, we've reminisced a lot about this show. And, again, thanks to you guys for letting me be a part of this, because you guys were the groundbreakers for this as we continue to grow and expand. And, one of the things that I'm really encouraged about is that it just seems to be that maybe it's because of what the youth of today have at their fingertips. You can Google this and you can go there and that type of stuff. But it just seems to me that maybe we're looking into our past a little bit, and we were reminiscing about the fact that, back when, how we grew up and that type of stuff. But, they're not sanctioned sports, I don't believe yet. But there's a lot of schools now that have shooting teams. They have different things like that. It seems to me that maybe there's slowly but surely beginning a rebirth again for the use of the love of the outdoors.
Yeah, and I have found that even the Kettle Moraine lasers out here, they have their trap shooting.
Right.
A couple friends of ours, friends of yours, are parts of it. Their kids are part of it, and it's nice to see that. The archery, the trap shooting. It's not all evil and bad. It's really not. And if you do it correct, I remember reading that one thing they talk about when the Wisconsin deer season starts. Again, I'm going to be wrong with the numbers, but they go, it's the largest army in the world and nobody gets hurt. It's something that we can appreciate if we care and we trust and we do our education. the things that we do in the outdoors can be so beneficial to so many people.
And that's the core principle of it too, right? Is the safety behind
yes.
it, you know, and just going about it in the right way. And I think that that's where getting kids involved from a young age of 10 or, I mean, a lot of them are even younger now with our new laws that we have in the state of Wisconsin that they can be out earlier than that. But just getting them into the hunter safety and teaching them as they're, you know, cognitively developing as well, and knowing all of those things that they have to be conscious of, and teaching them, you know, the like real nature of what they're actually handling. You know, there's no reason that they can't be doing those things in school, and if that's what they really enjoy, and that's something that, I mean, I think about my two nephews that one is in 8th grade and one is, I think, a junior this year. They have it out by them, and they're more over by the border of Iowa on the Mississippi, but you know, they're really, really good shots, and you know, you give them the ability to learn, and you never know what might come of that, and you know how that translates to actually coming out, you know, off the trap course to, you know, getting out and sitting in a ground blind and trying to harvest.
Well, it's real
waterfowl.
life. It's real life.
I'm just going to say that.
It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It forces structure, obedience, responsibility,
and more importantly, accountability.
Accountability.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're in a hunting party and you've got a weapon in your hand, you've got to be accountable for that. You know, and I think that's one of the things that overlooked sometimes is that it's just a bunch of guys that go in the woods and drink beer, and it's life skills. You know, we've all shared memories about how we grew up and how there are special moments for us, and for me, I find it refreshing because it seems like we're looking into our past right now as we have a lot of issues in the society. And this show is not a deep show. We're not out to solve anybody's problems. That's not what we're about. But it's refreshing to me, Wags, to see that seems to be a priority, or a little bit more of a priority going forward.
I agree 100%. I think there's so much more to it. Whether we're out hunting, remember when COVID hit and Dougie and his wife started all of a sudden, I don't say just started,
right?
But then they all of a sudden, they're walking in Montana, they're walking in Deadwood, they're walking.
Oh, I thought he said that Doug and his wife started COVID there for a minute. Just want to clarify, you know, the Russells had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
This guy buys a kayak, now he's on a canoe, now maybe if there is anything you can get out of it, in that situation, in that bad time period, we've learned to enjoy what was around us because we had so much solitude and you did things by yourself.
Appreciate.
Exactly.
Yeah, appreciate
exactly.
It.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I was thinking about that earlier, actually, as we were talking about how this UTV kind of fandom has exploded over the last couple of years. I think, you know, last year maybe, or possibly the year before, was probably the first year that these manufacturers were really able to keep up or catch up with production because there was such a long lead time. There were a lot of people that just weren't even buying them. They wanted to buy them, but they decided not to. And I think that probably weighs into why there's so much of that activity in the Northwoods right now that, or, you know, just in general across the state, that a lot of those people have finally been able to make those purchases and be able to get out and do some of that exploring, because what better way to do that? I mean, I think about Sherry and I, you know, we're so excited to be out in this area because we used to be 35 minutes away from coming down here and exploring all the lakes. We can walk across the street and get on a river now, you know. So a lot of people are doing that, and whether that's a health-conscious decision or just to be able to explore the great outdoors and the beautiful nature that we have in the state, I mean, whatever the reason is, I think a lot of people are starting to kind of do more of that for whatever their reasons are.
I think a lot of it has to do with, too, is that there's so much stress in our life. There's so many, you know, things that our time is so micromanaged now that being able to get away and just unplug for a while. And sometimes, you know, you don't have to go spend a ton of money. You can just go sit in your backyard.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, you can do your smoker. You mentioned starting a bonfire or a campfire or something like that, you know. I mean, there's only so much you can do watching stupid videos and stuff on your phone just to see nature and enjoy it. It's funny, my wife and I will have this. Remember when you used to travel when you were a kid and you didn't have the phone to look at, right? So, or if you're picking on your brother or sister in your backseat, what did your parents say? Go look out the window for a while, right?
Let's play the license plate game.
And I find that with my wife a lot. And we're actually leaving today to take the RV. We're going on our first big road trip of the summer. We got 2 planned. This one we're going to Nashville for a couple of days, so next week. So, but I will say to her, because she lives on Facebook, which is fine. I mean, a lot of people do, right? I'll say to her, why don't you put your phone down and look out the window? Enjoy nature a little bit, you know?
Yeah, after you get through Indiana, it's pretty beautiful. But, I mean, Indiana is like the same thing.
Yeah, then she gives me that look, and I'm like, okay, dear, go back to your phone. So, yeah. But anyway. Hey, fellas, we got to wrap this segment up. First and foremost, Doug Russell, nice job, buddy, coming out, helping out, producing this whole thing together. Our great sponsors, the Dock Hounds, Buck Rub Archery, and Bunzels for giving us these supplies. So will this be grilled or smoked this weekend by one of us?
These will be grilled. Mine will be grilled.
Mine are going to be smoked. Or not grilled, but with charcoal. I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm going old school charcoal. I wouldn't smoke brats. It'd be kind of weird.
I didn't know if you.
Yeah, it looked to be kind of funny.
Everybody does that.
Yeah.
Blackstone thing now.
All of our shows, I think all of them, are up on the podcast page at 97.3 The Game. So if you missed any of the show, you can check them out, download the podcast. Fellas, it's been great. Next week we're back in Are you on the road next week?
Yes, I'm on the road.
Okay, so you're back on the phone.
I will be in Fargo, North Dakota.
Woo! Fargo. There you go, baby.
Fargo, North Dakota, and then we got the Kane County Cougars in Chicago, and then we come back Sunday, and then we will have Monday off. So, yes. So, again, I'll have to talk to Armin. So I'll have to do my Monday on the bus ride, depending on where we're coming in from. We might have to push my John Kuhn segment from Monday to a different day.
I was going to say, they don't allow you to talk on the bus, right?
No.
Didn't that last year? Was it last year?
Yeah, guys.
You're like, shoot, I can't do it. We're on the bus, man. We can't do the interview on the bus. If you're looking to sponsor the show, we're always looking for more. Eric Tasker is the guy to talk to.
Yeah, I'd be happy. I think we have a couple other things that are in the works, and we had just talked about, what is to come in the future, and I think there's some events and some different things that we might either create or be a part of. I know the St. Jude shoot is upcoming at Buck Rub Archery here in the next couple months. But yeah, anybody that wants to be a part of the show, you're more than welcome to. You can send me an email at erictasker@iheartmedia.com, and that's ERIK.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fellas, thank you for just putting this idea together at Champs way back when, Wags.
Yeah.
And continuing with it. It's been a labor of love, and we look forward to another 150. All right, that's a wrap for us. Tailgate Talk today. Thanks so much. Chuck Garbedian and Garbedian on Golf is coming up next here on The Game.